Assalamu alaikum. Ayman al-Zawahiri, how U.S. spies found al-Qaeda's top man in Kabul. Last year, during the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, President Joe Biden pledged his administration would not allow the new Taliban-led regime to make the country a safe haven for terrorists. The remarks were intended to indicate that, as far as Mr. Biden's White House was concerned, the decades-old war on terror was far from over. Almost a year later, the president's top security advisors approached him and suggested that intelligence officials may have located the leader of al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, in Afghanistan. In background briefings, senior administration figures told reporters that they believed Zawahiri had returned to Afghanistan in the past year, following the collapse of the Western-backed government. U.S. spies had been carefully watching Afghanistan ever since the U.S. withdrawal for signs that al-Qaeda leaders were slowly filtering back into the country, an advisor to Mr. Biden said. Zawahiri is said to have settled in a large compound with high, protective walls, in downtown Kabul with his wife and daughter. The neighborhood Zawahiri chose, a relatively well-to-do area called Korpur, was home to foreign embassies and diplomats under the previous administration. Now, most of the Taliban's senior officials live in its plush surroundings. Officials said they had recognized her use of terrorist tradecraft, which she used in an attempt to avoid leading anyone to her husband's safe house in Kabul. They observed that after arriving at the house, Zawahiri never personally left the premises. But they did note his habit of appearing periodically on a balcony overlooking the property's walls for short periods of time. Intelligence agencies jealously guard the identities of their spies, and James Clapper, a former director of national intelligence under President Obama, told the BBC that former U.S. allies in Kabul may have provided some information. As Mr. Biden's television address from a balcony of the White House beamed around the world, Taliban leaders issued a sharp condemnation of the U.S. incursion into their territory. But their comments made no mention of Zawahiri. There will now be speculation about how much knowledge senior Taliban leaders had about Zawahiri's presence in Kabul and what assistance they might have been providing. One resident told the BBC that Taliban fighters had been guarding the street and that the presence of non-Afghan residents was common knowledge among locals. The suggestion seems likely to raise tricky questions for Taliban leaders. Content courtesy BBC.